Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I finally finalized what I want to be doing with my videos, and it's going to be video game lore explanations while doing my makeup because I like doing my makeup. And what with Monster Hunter on the Rise, that's a pun because the next game coming out is Monster Hunter Rise. I'm so clever. I'm going to go with the more recent game and the one that got me back into the series, Monster Hunter World, what with the Research Commission and the 5 different fleets that it has. Well, let's get to it. All right, to start off, I'm going to give a little pretext of the Research Commission and get some red on my brush. And so the Research Commission started off in the old world when they discovered that what used to be having like a century between each time it happened to being around 10 years in between, elder dragons were crossing the sea from the old world to the new world. So they sent some people to look there, and some didn't return. Others did, and that's basically what started. It's like, oh, okay, how about we send people to be able to research and find out what's going on. And why am I holding it in my hand? I have the mirror. Okay, research and finding out what's going on so that they can understand what's going on with these elder dragons. Why are they doing this, one, more frequently, and just in general, like what's the elder crossing? Let's find out. And so they sent researchers and hunters. And by researchers and hunters, I mean hunters who are also researchers, or researchers who are also hunters. This first group, the first fleet, this consisted of the admiral, who is the true leader of the Research Commission, though he's mostly absent and being searching out information on his own. And also the Seeker that you find, the one who talks about tells you to send a message to his friend, the Wyvernian, the elf-like race of the Monster Hunter World universe. I was supposed to say Monster Hunter World. The Monster Hunter universe. And then there's also the Tracker, the older lady that you meet first I believe you first meet in the Rotten Vale, or is it Coral Highlands? Either way, I think, yeah, it's Coral Highlands. And her specialty is being out and about and seeking stuff. And she's actually really good at her job because, I mean, not only is she a decent tracker, she's also an excellent fighter because if you played Monster Hunter World, you see that she fends off and survives against an Odegaron by herself and lives to tell a tale of what she posits is the meaning behind the Rotten Vale and why it exists, which is, well, you find out if you play the game, or you can look it up. I want people to guess what I'm doing before I announce what I'm going to be doing for this look. I kind of gave pretty big what hint as to what might be just by the current design alone, but I don't know. Maybe there's some mystery. Just putting up finer touches. This and the First Fleet also included the commander, who is the de facto leader of the Astera section of the Research Commission. Okay. Like I said, their purpose was to look at the New World, research it even more than the people who were before there. And it was like one or two ships that came by there, and a lot of them died. And so with that, the next Elder Dragon Crossing 10 years later, they send the Second Fleet, which was, I believe it was either 2 or 3 for every hunter, 2 or 3 engineers for every hunter in the Second Fleet. And so thus, it was mainly for being able to forge armor and weaponry and have, specialists for that, just so that people can, be able to equip themselves against the dangers of the New World, because, it's dangerous fighting monsters that are like, 20 feet tall behemoths, wanting to, spill your guts on the ground. That's a slightly tough fight. And so we have the example of the people who are there are the Second Fleet Master, who there you are, fiber. That guy, the main smithy from the non-expansion pack in Astera for Monster Hunter World. He is supposed to be like one of the best of the best, and literally every single person in each fleet is an expert in their field. That's why they go there, because if you go there, they're not going to be wasting resources by having some random person do it. So that's why he was able to even teach people, that little group that stays in Astera once you find the other place in Iceborne, the Hoarfrost Reach, and that part of the continent. That's why he's able to teach the ones that are there and the ones that either come by or stay. And another example of someone who is in the Second Fleet is the Wyvernian, who is part of the Resource Center. The short one with the beard and the helmet. He's also part of I think he's the tech expert. Here we go. He is also part of the Second Fleet, and as his name implies, he is experienced in making technology. I believe he's the one who developed the Clutch Claw. Well, it was either him or the Second Fleet Master. Either way, those two are examples of Second Fleet. Third Fleet was 90% researchers. So 9 out of every 10 people on that were researchers. So 9 out of every 10 of the Third Fleet were dedicated scholars, while the 10th was a hunter. it was to understand the ecology of the endemic life and the ecology of the New World, so that they can understand even further and see if that knowledge would also help them understand the Elder Crossing. Examples of the Third Fleet are basically everyone in the research base center. I'm going to go a little farther up. Such as the Third Fleet Master, the Elder Melder, and the one who introduces you to Tail Rider Safaris. Tail Rider? Trail Rider. The one who introduces you to that mechanic. Those people were all part of the Third Fleet. They were all expert researchers. And in fact, the curiosity of the Third Fleet caused them to be stranded in the Coral Highlands because they left through the ravine and were attacked by a flock of Legiana. There we go. And thus stranded them in there. But of course, they learned a lot from their stay at the Coral Highlands, especially about Legiana and their behaviors, and how the Legiana is the apex predator of the Coral Highlands, which is why they understand that something's wrong, because Legiana are leaving the place that they're reigning. Like, why are these creatures who have no true natural predators be fleeing from their home? And then, you find out all that stuff, which I might get into later if the comment suggests such. All right, just have to make an arc, and then I am done with this. Really, really do wish I could have done. Oh, yeah. Goes on top of the brow, like I practiced. Whoops. And so now the Fourth Fleet. The Fourth Fleet's mission was essentially HR. And by HR, I don't mean like human resources departments where, it's like, I have a complaint to file. No, it's just like people to fill in spots that are necessary. Like, the supplies provisioner is part of the Fourth Fleet, and like to restock hunters and such, because during the 40 odd years, because every fleet comes roughly 10 years after the previous one, people have been leaving and returning home, which was fair because, some of them had families that they cared about. This also includes the taller Wyvernian, the one with the glasses and the British accent, who's with the black lady with the French accent, and the tech expert. He happens to actually be the Third Fleet Master's brother. And apparently they had a little intimidating reunion when he came to the New World, because he's afraid of his sister, and I think that's just a funny little bit to add to the lore. All right, now that that's been flatly applied, let's apply with my concealer brush. And so what, oh yeah, and also the black lady with the French accent is also part of the Fourth Fleet. It is almost completely consistent of, people who just fill in spaces, whether it's the resource center, the supply provisioneer, or even the like the fussy fourth that you see in Iceborne or etc. Just they fill in spots of like hunters left or stores, stock supplies, other research, All right, I want to know if you can guess if you have guessed what I am doing for my look. If you have guessed, I'll give you a hint, the shadow, then you are correct. I'm going to incorporate my eyebrow into this look. So the fourth was just filling in all the empty spots that they had and also getting specialists like people who were great at stocking, STOCKING. And like I said, everyone who is sent to the New World is great in their field. Like the stockpile provisioneer, he says he sucks at hunting, but he knows how to keep stock of whatever supplies you need. So that is always wonderful to have on your side as someone who can make sure you have what you need when you need it and that knows whether or not you have it and not just be like, let me check in the back. He's like, no, I know whether we have this or not. And so now we come to the Fifth Fleet, or you, the player. This one is almost entirely consistent of A-list hunters and their handlers. So the Fifth Fleet, I'm all looking super far down. So the Fifth Fleet consists of almost all A-list hunters and helpers. And the reason why we know this is to be the fact is that all you and all other player characters, not playable, but player characters, are implied to be of the Fifth Fleet. So literally they got the best of the best because A-listers are able to use all types of weapons, or they have the skill to be able to use all types of weapons efficiently or not. They can, as opposed to like one or two that most people can use. This includes the excitable A-lister who, if you actually pay attention throughout the story, he gets better and better armor and changes that up, although he still stays with sword and shield, which kind of defeats the purpose of him being showing that he's an A-lister. But then again, I played Insect Glaive almost exclusively from beginning to end of the game, so I can't really say much. But I can play Hunting Horn when I'm playing with other people. And actually, I've just recently created a new character that I'm going to exclusively play Hunting Horn with. And I can also play Light Bowgun, which is so fun. And Heavy Bowgun. I love this look. And I love the Fifth Fleet and the lore in the different fleets because, like I said before, every person is a researcher. Like, even if you're a hunter, you're the one collecting endemic life. You're the one being able to track monsters on the field, like even if you have, even if scout flies are a thing, first you have to find the tracks in order for the scout flies to be able to track them. All right, anyone guess what monster I'm looking like? It has blades on its wings. It looks like a panther mixed with a bat, and it has a beak. And if you guessed correctly, who knows? Comment below what you think I'm looking like. I'll give you a hint. Yes, it is a monster. Like, clearly it has wings and a beak. But yes, your character is a researcher. You analyze the footprints. You yourself are the one who is also keeping tabs of the map of the stair that you're exploring. Like, it's not someone else showing you this stuff. You yourself are keeping track of this. Oops. Kept that in. I don't feel like this is a lash look. That's why I'm like, because I got the red around the eye. I'll give another hint as to what monster this is. When it gets angry, its eye glows red and has a red trail unless you break its head part, and then it will gain a scar over one of its eyes, and it'll only have one eye having a trail as opposed to two of them. That it is just one angry kitty. Hello. One angry cat bat, as me and my friend say when we're fighting it, and it's enraged. We're just like, down, kitty, down. Bad kitty. Blend it into the hairline so that it goes with the style of the look. I'm going to clean this up with a makeup remover to even it out. But otherwise, I'm done with this eye. I'm going to take off most of the foundation. Let's see. Adding to the bottom works. Just as someone who has studied science since I've been 5 years old, and that's not even an exaggeration. My dad gave me like taxonomy books at that age, and I absolutely loved them. Like, it was reptiles and amphibians, and then there was mammals, birds, dogs, like dog breeds, and like, oh, it was wonderful. I love being like the smart character. That's why I'm not a fan of himbos. Say, oh, you have a dumb character. Great. Not a fan of dumb characters. Like, even the Admiral is a researcher. He is actually out going and looking up and finding out answers to questions. Like, and it's also implied that he fights with his bare fists because he doesn't wield a weapon. And when the final boss of Iceborne gets up, he just readies his fists. Like, that's freaking awesome. Hi. All right, so now what I'm going to do is fast forward through this eye and clean it up, and then give my closing statements. All right, well, see you in a bit. All right, this is the finished look, and if you've gotten this far, thank you for continuing watching. All right, so I wanted to say thank you for watching, and I hope that you liked this content. I've been trying to refine it because, yes, I had to take a week off for like understanding what I want to do, because I wanted to talk about a few things, but then I was like, oh, those are so serious, and I don't want to keep this, like, I don't want to make this a super serious channel, or at least talk about something as serious as I wanted to yet. But, like, I had a lot of fun, like, researching this stuff and talking about it, because I kind of like talking about stuff I know, because I like informing people of things. And now that you've seen the finished look, if you can guess what this is, once again, please put in the comments. So I hope you did learn something about the lore, or at least, confirmed knowledge that you already knew about the lore of Monster Hunter World and the Research Commission. I would like to give a shout out to my friend, Quinn Krendraven. Their Twitter's in the link below. Twitter's in the link below if you would like to follow them. She loves Gundam and a lot of anime stuff, and she's just a really nice person. She's a really nice lady. I hope you have a good day, and excuse me, and do something that helps you be better than you were yesterday. Whether it's just one thing, like doing the laundry when you say you want to, or doing something responsible that you've been needing to do, or just like get up yourself in a skill at something. Do one more push-up than you would normally, or something like that. Learn how to draw shading, or practice a new technique in art or something. Well, again, hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and you are loved, and you do deserve to be loved. Bye.